I made $27,448 in passive income as a self-published author in April 2020. And in this video, I'm going to share my revenue sources, where and how I spent my time, how much profit I made, and how much I personally spent and saved that month. To make sure there is no confusion, I earn most of my income in euros, but since these videos have a worldwide audience, I explain everything in a dollar amount. At the moment of making this video, €1 is $1.22. So here you see the pie chart of my revenue for April 2020, where you can see 87.5% of my income came from my own website, which is $24,696, where I sell my 4 self-published books and an online course. But most of the sales are from my self-published books though, and not from the online course. 9.6% of April's revenue in 2020 also came from my book sales, but it's from a third-party website similar to Amazon, but then the Dutch version of it. That's $2,723. I also did some marketing consulting where I helped an e-commerce owner with its e-commerce brand. This generated me $784, which is 2.8% of the total revenue of that month. So the beauty of being an entrepreneur is that sometimes you have luck on your side, and that's what I had in April 2020. So because of the situation we're in, lots of people needed to work from home, and therefore more people than usual came up with the idea of adopting a puppy. And since my self-published books are all about puppy training and how to prepare yourself for a puppy, I had the right offer at the right time. And I saw my monthly traffic from my website grew significantly from 38,000 sessions in April 2019 to close to 120,000 sessions in April 2020. And it's not only due to the current circumstances, since I also invested lots of time and money into search engine optimization in 2019 and the beginning of 2020. In 2019, I hired a text writer to write valuable articles for my website, and I also hired an assistant to help me with Google search engine optimization. And the exciting thing is that I write down every single hour I spent working on something, so I know exactly how I spent my time back in April 2020. So looking back at my notes from April 2020, I see I noted 95 hours of working hours, meaning I generated $297 in revenue per working hour. It's around 21 hours per week. It's probably a little more because I only write down the active working hours. When I'm walking my dog, for example, I most often think about my business, or I'm listening to a new audiobook or podcast to learn business-related stuff. So 16 of those 95 working hours, or in other words 70%, I spent on doing the ordinary things I need to do to keep my business of selling my self-published books going. These tasks are answering customer emails, adding newsletters to the mix, and I also did a few webinars. I do have a dog expert answering the puppy training questions by email. However, there are always customers who need help, or I need to deal with returns. It also entails answering partner emails. Then in April, I also spent time setting up my first online course around puppy training. I hired a dog trainer to teach a particular topic on dog training. I recorded all the sessions and divided them into nice small videos and added them to Teachable, an online course platform, to sell it again in the future. I spent 24 hours on this in April, which is around 25%. I also spent 5 hours or 5% of my working time on puppyb.com, which is the English version of my website basically. A while ago, I translated my self-published books into English, allowing a worldwide audience to enjoy my books. And my English self-published puppy training books only sold a couple of units back in April 2020 though. Not really worth mentioning. So one of the strategies to promote my self-published English books was a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel gains trust and builds a following. In total, I published 16 videos on my English puppy training YouTube channel. Nowadays, months later, a few of the videos are ranked very high on YouTube, resulting in 600 daily viewers on average. And it's not much, but you must know I only created a couple of YouTube videos. This YouTube channel nowadays, in the late 2020, generates a little over $150 per month of YouTube AdSense. It has a $9 RPM. Meaning I receive $9 per 1,000 people watching my videos. So this YouTube channel's main idea was to get eyeballs on my self-published books. So passively receiving an extra $150 is pretty nice, right? I am thinking of creating more videos for this YouTube channel in the future, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Furthermore, I also spent around 8% of my working hours on bookkeeping. That's 7.5 hours in that month. I do have help with my bookkeeping, but still I do most of the heavy lifting of keeping my bookkeeping in check every single month. And besides that, I did a bit of consulting, resulting in 5% of my total working hours. And that's 4.5 hours. And to be honest, I don't love consulting as much as working on my own projects. Still, it's a lovely active income stream to have when your passive income projects aren't taking off just yet. A year ago or something, I remember that one of my goals was to have the freedom to not do any consultings any longer. And my goal was to make sure I earn enough with my passive income projects to sustain my lifestyle. We're now at December 19, 2020, and a few weeks ago I told my last consulting client I quit, and it felt pretty good. Anyhow, this video is about April 2020, so let's move on with that. So the last thing I spent my time on was what I call new business ideas. In total, I spent 40% of my working hours on new business ideas, and that's 38 hours in April 2020. So why did I spend so much time on new business ideas? And what do I mean by business ideas? Well, firstly, to put it bluntly, working with new puppy owners and creating new content for my dog training business isn't my true passion and my strength. In 2014, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in marketing because one of the things I'm genuinely interested in is business, marketing and investing. Also, this is where my strengths are and not dog training in particular. So basically, I chose to spend time thinking, researching and testing different ideas, and I won't go into full detail about all the different ideas I've tried and explored in this video, but I can say that one of the things that came out of it was this YouTube channel. And I'm genuinely passionate about marketing, business, investing and building a nice financial foundation for my family and me. And my idea with this YouTube channel is to share my experiences, knowledge and journey to financial independence so you can hopefully learn a thing or two. Okay, so what about the costs? So my total revenue for the month was $28,232, but that's obviously not profit. So my total expenses for the month were close to $9,899. So my total profit for April 2020 was $18,107. So where did I spend those $9,899 on? 54% of it was Facebook ads and Google ads. Mostly Facebook ads though, since I tested different video ads and tried to spend a little bit more. I spent $225 on web hosting and domain costs. It's also some of my old domains and web hosting of one of my first projects. But for some reason, I find it hard to let go of those. Then I spent $34 on transaction and banking costs. I also spent $219 on the packaging for my self-published paperback books. I spent $1,248 on shipping costs for the delivery of the paperback books. I spent $41 on my phone bill and my internet at home, which is also my office. I spent $815 on accounting fees, and it's a little bit higher than usual because of the tax declaration that needs to be done of the last year, 2019. I also spent $116 on training and courses and $37 on a financial newspaper. Basically, it's a Wall Street Journal, but then the Dutch version. I also spent $990 on freelances, and one of the freelancers answers most of my online dog training blog emails. And the other one assisted me with search engine optimization for Google. I also spent $556 on software costs like my email newsletter software, webinar software, podcast software, etc. And if you want to see the full list of the software tools I use with all the links, please check out my website iamrobin.com. There's a link in the description below. So the last thing is $450 on partner fees. It's basically Amazon.com, but then the Dutch version of it, where I sell my self-published books. For every sale I make, some percentage of it goes to the partner. So I made $2,723 on that platform, whereas $450 of it goes to the partner. Okay, so the total profit was $18,107. Furthermore, I obviously need to pay income taxes on that number. Since the income tax is calculated yearly, I don't know exactly how much it is. I did do a prepayment in income tax of $1,697, but whether that's enough, probably not, but we'll find out at the end of the year. So after all the taxes and VAT is taken off, there is $16,410 left over. But how much did I spend personally? And how much did I save? I would like to become financially free before I turn 40, I think, and therefore I need to save a lot more than I spent. So to call me financially free, I want to have $2.5 million invested. So again, how much did I spend that month? So well, I spent $858 on rent, foods and stuff like that. I also spent $231 on car and life insurances, taxes and so forth. I spent $8 on banking costs and $296 on car maintenance. In total, that's $1,393. All in all, this is $15,017 in newly added savings and investments. Maybe it's a bit less because I need to pay more income taxes next year, but that depends on my yearly profit this year. So if you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please make sure to click the like button, so I know whether I should continue making these videos. Also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow along as I document my journey as an entrepreneur that tries to become financially free by creating passive income projects. Every Monday and Thursday I publish a new video related to online business, marketing and personal finance. Also make sure to check out my blog at www.iamrobin.com for the written form of the information I shared in these videos. Lastly, I've added a video here where I share how I got started with my blog and my self-published books. Thanks for watching my video and hopefully we'll meet again.